Hello guys, this is Zero Stocks from Rogues Gallery TCG, and I am super excited for the video today. I am going to show you guys a one card combo from Dark Magician, from the new support from using Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, into Azamina combo. Now, there have been other bridges discovered. There is the 2-card combo that Torch and Matchy were working on in the DM Discord, and I will link in the description the bridge that I'm talking about using Magician's Souls and Magician's Rod in order to bridge into Azamina. And the end board is crazy. I really enjoyed it. Honestly, this line is inspired by the work that those guys have put in. Matchy, I've already shared this with Matchy as well, and I'm excited to see how he refines the line or what other ideas he has. But I think we can do better. I think we don't need Magician's Souls or Magician's Rod. We don't need to open those 2 cards in order to get a Azamina combo. I was pretty confident we were able to get to Azamina combo with just using Pharaoh Servant and obviously the spell to reveal. And so that's what kind of I tried to do, and I was successful. So we're gonna go through the combo. There are 2 variants that I want to show in this video, and then after those 2 variants, I'll show a little bit of a preliminary deck list that I've been thinking about, and then a little bit of a discussion of why I prefer this line over the 2-card combo. Obviously, 1-card combo is makes the deck more consistent than a 2-card combo, but also you don't have to run a lot of bricks. You can cut the Mausoleum, you can cut the vanilla Dark Magician. You can play this deck with just this guy. Obviously, you're playing Dark Magician Girl. But if we're trading Dark Magician Girl for reducing the number of bricks by 1, and so I'll take that. And also, we cut a lot of the Seals package. We cut Spirits with Eyes of Blue. We make the extra deck a lot more lenient because we don't require all these extra deck monsters in order to get into the line. It's actually very much in archetype, and there's only 1 card that is a little unconventional to have in the extra deck. But besides that, everything else should be pretty streamlined to get to Diabell Star. So, with no further ado, let's just get into the combo. So, you're going to go ahead and reveal Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant. Activate him, revealing the spell card. And then you're going to special summon him, and it's 1 effect, so he is also going to set Bonds Between Teacher and Student. Now, I actually really like running this card because it can be a really good extender in this deck. So, I really don't consider it a brick. Opening it is not necessarily bad, but anyway. So we're going to set this. We're going to go ahead and activate it. We're going to special summon our Dark Magician Girl. And now from here, you have 2 options. This is where the line can take a different route. You can either banish Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, or you can banish Dark Magician Girl. I think it is better to banish this guy for your copy of Dark Magician of Destruction. He's going to activate the effect to search. This is going to get you to your Magician's Rod. You're going to normal summon Magician's Rod, and Magician's Rod is going to get you a copy of Soul Servant. Now we're going to play around Bestials here, so we're going to go ahead and activate Soul Servant. Soul Servant is going to stack a copy of Magician's Souls on top of your deck. And then you're going to activate the graveyard effect of Soul Servant to draw 2 cards, since you control a Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl. So you're going to draw your Magician's Souls, and you're also going to draw a blank. It can be any card, it does not matter. Now, this is where the line gets really cool. Now, you don't really need Magician's Rod and Dark Magician Girl, so you can go ahead and link these 2 off into a copy of Cross Sheep. Now, I think Cross Sheep has really cool applications in this deck. So this is a card that you want to run anyway because you have a fusion link 1. So I wouldn't consider this an extra deck, a waste of your extra deck space, because it is just a really good card that you can do a lot of really cool things with. For example, this. So you're going to activate Magician's Souls, which is going to send, for cost, a spellcaster to the grave. And the spellcaster that we're going to send, level 6 or higher spellcaster. So we're going to send Diabell Star to the graveyard using Magician's Souls. And what's really cool here is that we can special summon it into the Cross Sheep zone, and you're pointing to the Demon. And now with Demon, you're going to activate the Cross Sheep effect to revive. This is going to revive your Magician's Rod. And now this is where the bridge happens. This is what brings the whole deck together. And what we're going to do to get the Bellstar from the grave is we're going to go into Nightmare Phoenix, which this might feel a little odd, but this is the fiend that we need to do a link for into a Baoaku. Yes, because this only requires one fiend in order to make it. And Nightmare Phoenix is a fiend. This is the only unconventional extra deck monster that you have to run in your extra deck to make this bridge work. Now, you can use Abawaku, the Lightless Shadow, discarding for cost the blank that you drew off of the Soul Servant. And then she will banish herself to revive a light or dark monster from your graveyard. That will revive your Diabellstar. And then Diabellstar will activate her effect to set your copy of Deception of the Sinful Spoils. And now we're full into Azamina combo. Now we're going to activate Deception effect, attributing Diabellstar. That will get your Hallowed. We're going to activate Hallowed, revealing Murcielago, sending the Deception. Special summoning Murcielago effect to get us our Wanted. And now we have two spare bodies that we really don't need on the field anymore. We're going to link these two off into, I keep grabbing my extra deck and I just don't need to, into IP Masquerena. And now we're going to use the graveyard effect of the Hallowed Azamina, targeting Murcielago to shuffle back into the deck and adding this back into our hand. Now we're going to do the classic play of Hallowed, chain Wanted. Wanted is going to grab back the copy of the Diabellstar that's in your graveyard. I rather grab the one engraved than the one in the deck, but that's obviously up to preference. And then we're going to use the Hallowed Azamina to fusion summon into your Elia Sylvia. And now, as you can see, we have an Omni Negate, and then we have IP Masquerena, but that's not all, because we can activate the effect of Wanted, banishing itself to shuffle back Deception into the deck, and this will draw us an additional blank. And now what's crazy is that at this point, we have not used the Diabellstar's effect to special summon herself. So if you really want to, you can pitch Fuelos, special summon Diabellstar, and you can do some play over here, a Link 3, I don't know. But that it would be, or if you get nibbed or something, I don't know. This can definitely work as an extender. If you go into main phase and then you negate the nib, then you can special summon this. That could be something that you could do. But that is really cool that you have not used this, so you could have that extra body if you really need to. And so end of main will come along, and in the end phase, your Abawaku will come back. Will come back to the field. So what do we have here? What we have here is an Omni Negate, a non-target pop, or a discard to revive from the grave. And then we have IP Masquerena, so we can go IP into SP. We have, we could also, if you really want to, you can just keep the, you can use IP into SP. You can make Celine, you can make, those probably are the two things that I'm running right now in my extra deck that you can currently use. But you can get as creative as you want. Because on your opponent's turn, you can go in main phase, you can go bow, discard. This will special summon, sure, we can special summon Dark Magician Girl. It doesn't really matter. And then you can go IP effect, make SP, banish. So you have 3 to 4 points of interaction. And don't forget that this is only off of one card. So you still have 4 more cards in your hand that you can also use, that you have as potential disruptions. And I think this is pretty great because you do end on a very minimalistic board with a lot of grind game potential because in the end phase of your opponent's turn, Abawaku will come back. It'll give you a mulligan on your turn, and then another revive. So if you can survive, you have plenty of interaction with this board to be able, and with the rest of your hand to be able to survive one turn. And then on the crackback, you're going to have plenty of follow-up because you're already opening with a starter and a Bawaku on your field. So I think that's definitely very huge. Dark Magician has never really had a one-card combo. And we finally have one, and it bridges into Azamina, which is also a one-card starter for Dark Magician anyway, because we can make D-Mod with the Bellstar. So that is really cool. I'm going to show you guys another line. What happens if we, instead of banishing Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant, we just banish, what's the name? Dark Magician Girl instead. Because I think that it's also a pretty interesting line. Because as you can see, the problem here, or I guess it's not a problem, but something that, I mean, you might think is, okay, well, we don't end on any Dark Magician related card, which is true. We don't end on anything Dark Magician related. But again, we don't have all the support yet. So there's a long ways to go. There's still a long ways to go. We'll probably get more stuff. And I think this list specifically will just age really well. So we're going to go Pharaoh Servant, set bonds, activate bonds, special summon DMG, banish DMG, D-Mod effect, rod, normal rod. And as you can see, this is the exact same as the previous combo. That will get Soul Servant. And then this is, oh, actually, I made a mistake. This should be right over here. Linking off for Cross Sheep. And then we'll go Soul Servant, stacking Magician Souls. Magician Souls affecting Grave to draw one. So as you can see, we're not getting, this is one disadvantage. You're not getting the additional draw off of Soul Servant, but that's okay. We're going to activate Magician Souls, sending the Bellstar for a cost, special summoning into the Cross Sheep zone. Cross Sheep will trigger, special summoning Rod. Now we get the Bellstar Engrave, and then this is the exact same. We're going to go into Nightmare Phoenix. And then with these two, we're going to make the Bawaku. And then with a spell that you revealed, or with just like another blank that you might possibly have in hand, you can go Bawaku, banish, special summon the Bellstar effect, setting Deception, activating Deception, a Deception effect, Hallowed, send Deception, Murcielago effect, grabbing Wanted, and then over here, it's very, very similar. The only difference in this end board is going to be, let's see, we're going to go Hallowed effect, target Murcielago, add back to hand, shuffle this back, Hallowed, chain Wanted, adding back the Bellstar. Again, same thing, you can use it as an extender. It'll be follow-up for your next turn. We're going to summon Ilia Sylvia. And then we're going to use the effect of Wanted, shuffling back the Deception to draw a blank. And then in the end phase, so as you can see, we do not have we don't end with a bow here. We use the revive. Oh, sorry. This is a very similar end board. And the only difference is that here in your end phase, you're going to get the Abao back. And then on your opponent's turn, because Abao is only in main phase, you can activate Bawaku discarding your blank that you drew, banishing herself, special summoning the Dark Magician of Destruction. Oh, sorry, the Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant. And now this adds a few more points of interaction, because now you have a Harpy's Feather Duster on your field. So you can go effect to Harpies, your opponent's field, and then once you're done with that, you can just IP into SP. You still have the Omni Negate, and then Abao is going to come back on your turn on the end phase, and then you still have the Abel Star in your hand to be able to continue playing turn 3. So it still achieves the same thing, but you don't get the additional drop of Soul Servant, but you do get the Harpy's effect, the Harpy's Feather Duster effect of Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant. So it really depends. It's a bit of a trade-off between sealing and card advantage that you can make depending on what hand you have, because remember, this is off of 1 card. You still have 4 other cards in your hand that you can play around with. Now, what are the implications from this combo? I think the implications are pretty big, because I think deck building changes a lot for the deck. Now that you have a 1-card combo available for you, instead of having to focus on opening Rotten Souls, which again, Rotten Souls are good cards. I don't want to trash too much on them, but Magicians and Souls is not really a starter for us. It doesn't really achieve much except putting a DM on the field, and if you don't have the spell to activate, you cannot make DMod. And then Magician's Rod is not a starter. It gets you a spell, but by himself, it doesn't achieve anything. Like, honestly, I always run this guy at 1, because there are so many other things that I rather normal summon than him. So I don't want to deck build around 2 cards that are not furthering my game plan. Instead, I want to deck build around this guy, and then use these 2 guys as extenders to complement Dark Magician, the Pharaoh Servant. I think that makes a lot more sense, because this card beats almost every hand trap in the game, and we have a line that is a 1-card combo into both engines in our deck. And not only that, but you get to have a 1-card combo that achieves and has a very high floor and a decent ceiling, and then you can move away from these 2 cards that don't really achieve much by themselves, but are great extenders. And you're just doing exactly what they do what they do well, which is extend your plays. So with that, I want to talk about a little bit of the preliminary list that I have been building. Now that we know that this guy is a 1-card combo, we're obviously going to run 3 copies of our boy, the best card in the deck. I think, yeah, let's just do it like this. This is just fundamental. You definitely want to play 3. There's no other way. And then I am also playing... You don't have to do this, but you can play 3 copies of Illusion of Chaos. You can also play 2 copies and 3 Preparation of Rites. Right now I'm on 3 because I can't find my 3rd preparation. But this is all up to you. These ratios are not established by any means. They are very flexible, so you can kind of do whatever you want. But I will be adamant that you need to play 3 Pharaoh Servant. So 3 Illusion of Chaos. And then we're also playing, for the rest of the end monsters, obviously we're playing the Souls, the Rod, and we're also playing the Dark Magician Girl. So that's going to be it for the monsters. I don't think you need anything more than this. Timaeus, you don't need Timaeus. Timaeus is really bad. Now for the Dark Magician spells, which this is also up for testing. I'm only playing 2 Gaze. And then to complement Gaze, we're obviously playing the 1 Soul Servant. And then we're also playing the bond between teacher and student, because that card is actually pretty good now. Even if you draw Dark Magician Girl, it's not terrible because you can send it off of a Deception, and Bonds also revives her off of the graveyard. And then the 2 Preparation of Rites, you can easily up to 3. It's really up to preference. I don't think this has been solved yet. These ratios have been solved. And then we're also going to play 3 Devil Star. And then 3 Wanted, 1 Deception, 1 Hallowed. That'll be it for the Azamina, keeping it simple, no additional bricks. Just all the 1-card combos. And then for the additional starter count, to bump up our starter count, because this is also a 1-card combo, Ready Fusion. Because you want to go into this guy, which you can banish to bring out D-Mod, and then you have full combo. So that is the other advantage of being able to cut all the Spirit Up with Ice Up Blue, the Seals package. You actually get to play the Ready Fusion because you have that additional extra deck slot in order to play Sandwich. And now this is because it's also a 1-card combo. You have several starters in the deck now. This will be it for the engine. But if you can count this is a 1-card combo. This is a 1-card combo. This is a 1-card combo. Well, not because this is a bridge. This is also a 1-card combo. All of these are 1-card combos. Even Opening Deception is combo. So, well, right now you have 7, and then you have 3 Witch. You have 3 Witch, which now you're upping it to 10. And then you also have 3 IOC, which, again, if you have a spell card in your hand, it is full combo. You also have Preparation of Rites. We're gonna put it right over here instead. I'm gonna kind of shift this over. We have Preparation of Rites, which is also 1-card combo. The boy himself. So now what we are looking at, 19 possible, or what, yes. 6 plus 12, 18. 18 1-card combos that all can bridge into each other. Dark Magician has never had a 1-card starter, and now we actually have several by playing this bridge at a very minimal extra deck cost and at a very low brick cost. Because the only cards that you have to play to enable this are Dark Magician in the main deck, are Dark Magician Girl and Bonds Between Teacher and Student. These are the only 2 cards that you have to run to enable this combo in the main deck, which is significantly better than running the Vanilla DM, Mausoleum, whereas this one actually plays really well and it also has pretty good synergy with the Azamina half of the deck. So I am very happy that I only need to, and you also get a value of Soul Servant by playing DMG. And if we do get a DMG retrain, like we got a DM retrain, well, this combo will get even better because we will be playing Bonds. Bonds will special out the new DMG. We're going to get value off of that, and we'll be off to the races. I think that's why I think this combo will age really well, because if we do get new support that does enable DMG plays, then the combo will be even easier and we'll build more advantage as we do that. But anyway, that's enough for the engine. The other thing that has been really tough for Dark Magician is just being able to play non-engine. We usually have a pretty heavy engine count. Oh, sorry, and then the last few. Oh yeah, this is like a very engine heavy deck for the most part, because we also have to mix it with either Primite or so far it has been Primite, and sometimes there's not a whole lot of room for non-engine, and if you do open a lot of non-engine, then you have a bunch of 2-card combos, so you actually don't end up doing a whole lot. You can't really break boards because you just don't have the card advantage to do it, because you need 2-card combos to resolve. But now, because we're playing this one card combo, and we are not adding additional bricks, we actually have a decent amount of space for non-engine. So right now I'm just on 3 Ash Blossoms. We have 14 slots for non-engine. 3 more Chalmy Fuolos, and then the appeal of playing Azamina is always playing the Dominus Impulse, because this hand trap is just one of the best hand traps in the game. And then this, obviously, this non-engine, this decision is obviously the deck's not out. You can switch to non-engine based on the meta. This is definitely not definitive, but the Imperm, because it plays well with the Impulse. At the very least, I do think that Impulse is a must play. Fuolos is a must play. Ash is a bit of a must play. Because the deck does struggle a little to Fuo with this line. I mean, same with the Seals line. But I would say that these 9 are relatively mandatory. And then the Imperm is just because it has synergy with Impulse. And then to up our spell count, we play the Talons and the Called By. But this is obviously up for debate. We honestly could play Thrust in the main deck. I've been toying around with that idea. You can Thrust into Impulse. You can play Black Gold Laughs. That ups your spell counts. You can go in second. You can Thrust into Pre-Prep. So it's a starter. You can Thrust into Ready Fusion. So you just have a lot of options for non-engine. And if you really want to, you can also decrease your starter count. I mean, you already play so many starters. You can cut some Ready Fusions. You can cut maybe like the IOC, the Pre-Prep. Well, I mean, probably IOC over Pre-Prep. But you have a lot of flexibility in deck building with this new build. And then now, but that is enough for the main deck. I'm gonna go ahead and show you the extra deck, which again, very flexible. We're going to be playing 2 Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. You can probably cut this guy to 1 as well. I don't think he is as necessary as he was before in the deck, because now we can play some really good extra deck monsters like Habawaku. We have another Omni-Negate like Ila Sylvia. So yeah, you can get him back if your opponent outs him, you can get him back off of Habawaku. So it's not the end of the world. You might be able to cut him with 1 to 1. It's just really up to preference. D-Mod, I'm playing him at 2 right now, but you can cut him to 1. I know Matchy has been mentioning playing this guy at 1. And so, yeah, that's definitely an option. And then for the other Dark Magician fusions, Master of Chaos, the Magi Dragon, I do really like these cards. It's been really good. And then for the additional fusions, we're just going to play the Sandwich. For the Ready Fusion, you can play 2 of these guys, just in case you want to have that extra target if you top deck into or draw into another Ready Fusion. But again, you don't need to. That's just up for preference. The 2 Azamina fusion monsters. And then for the links, we are going to play the Abao package, which is going to be the Cross Sheep, the Nightmare Phoenix, and then the Abao. Nightmare Phoenix being the only card that it's kind of awkward to play, but it's really even not that bad because you can still use it. Like you can use it to break boards. If you need to pitch a card, you can use them to discard a card. So there's still applications. It's not a useless card. And then IP, SB, and Selene. Since you can IP into Selene, revive Dragoon, get another Omni. So also a very useful package here. But then again, there's a lot of flexibility. You can cut this, you can cut this. You don't have to play the Ready Fusion. Maybe even these. But again, a lot of flexibility. I've been really enjoying the deck. I think that, again, this line will age really well, and it opens a lot of really good possibilities for Dark Magician with the upcoming support, and I'm just really excited to show all of you guys what I'll be cooking up whenever the new cards come out. But I think that's going to be it. Really excited. Join the Dark Magician Discord. I'm pretty sure you should be able to find it if you follow over to Matchy's channel, which I'm also going to link down in the comments because he's the GOAT. He was a big inspiration for this line. And yeah, so thank you so much.